Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips a balance in favor of fair use. Okay, you guys, this is from Deepcast. I have not listened to it yet, but I plan on it while I do some painting. It is episode 146, How the Internet Failed This TikToker. So this should be interesting. We're going to get a little more of the story. I feel like a truly unbiased look at the Cupcake mom. Can't think of her name off the top of my head. We're going to cover it here. Jesse and Lily discuss a viral TikTok drama. I don't like that word, you guys. Involving a woman named Elizabeth, who posted a video of herself crying while making cupcakes on her birthday because her ex-husband Andrew wouldn't let her see their kids. She was, in my opinion, I totally understand why she would do that. Due to a court custody agreement and owes over $21,000 in child support. By the way, her ex-husband is a Scientologist, and I'm still trying to figure out, I think that she used to be a Scientologist. You see, that's the part we're not getting. And also, because why not bring this up? If my research is correct, if it's correct, she was, as Serge Delmar and Lyra FM would describe, as a child bride. I think she was married at 15. Don't quote me. I have to go back and make sure that that's true. Things are adding up here, aren't they? Nothing like some good child exploitation and then steal away their children. Think about the audacity in this day and age of asking for child support from a woman. I know a lot of you guys would disagree. That's okay. Come on now. Andrew, that's the Scientologist that claims he's not one, then responded with a video exposing Elizabeth as a liar. Narcissism, anyone? Claiming she barely sees the kids due to a court custody agreement and owes over $21,000 in child support. So this is what I'm gathering. Elizabeth somehow left Scientology. That's the part we're not getting told. We don't know what happened or how it happened. So, they're probably telling her she's got a freeloader's job, which doesn't stand in courts of law. And then there was something that went on in her marriage which clearly was abusive. There's way too much evidence. There's no way to dispute that Andrew is an abuser. That's on record everywhere. So she gets out of Scientology. She has no money, 2 pennies to rub together. Doesn't have a job yet. Was really desperate. And apparently she did some things that were not the most ethical. But I understand why she was so desperate. And everybody makes mistakes in life. This young woman, it appears to me she had zero, absolutely zero support from anyone. And she's actually a very beautiful young lady. I don't know what she was doing with him. Ugh. But, when they trap children in Scientology, that's how it goes. So, what else was I going to say on that? So anyways, I'm going to read this. But I personally want to give her a little bit of grace because of the position that she has been put into? And why isn't Andrew stepping up? Isn't he supposedly a dentist? Inquiring him if minds want to know. Andrew. He accuses her of faking cancer, fraud, and other crimes. Does this sound like, what is it L. Ron Hubbard says? Deny, 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 attack, attack, attack. Utter them ruinly. Elizabeth defends herself, claiming Andrew is an abusive ex, trying to ruin her life. Yeah, ruin her utterly, huh? Take her children away from her. Wasn't bad enough she had to get married at 15? And I gotta check this. I gotta check the data on that. So don't quote me. I'm just making conversation. That wasn't enough abuse, huh? And if what I found is correct, if it's correct, that means she was a child Scientologist. But I haven't been able to verify. I don't have the data yet. The episode examines the evidence from both sides, including text messages, those are also called receipts, court documents, and personal accounts. Elizabeth admits to faking cancer, but denies other allegations, portraying Andrew as a controlling Scientologist. There we go. Obsessed with destroying her online presence. Honey, you are not going to be destroyed. What this is bringing out is more women warriors. I call them warrior S's. Don't you worry. We got your back. And have you guys seen Andrew? Ugh. Andrew denies being a Scientologist. Of course he does. Because that would bring, you know what that would bring, you guys? That would bring black or negative PR. And claims he's just warning others. I mean, please. He must have trapped her. Wonder if it was an arranged marriage, like so many of them in Scientology, where they don't even give the children an option. About Elizabeth's manipulative behavior. See what he's doing? He's projecting here. Conflicting narratives make it difficult to determine the truth. Me personally, from what I'm seeing, I see that Andrew is not a good person at all. She put that video up because she was in a desperate situation. And it worked. And I personally think all women, we should start a Cupcake movement. Even if she's guilty of some things that are not perfect, I think women need to stand by women and support them. She's up against this multi-billion-dollar, misogynistic, narcissistic, criminal organization where R-ing children is the norm and R-ing women is just, a pastime. Jesse and Lily ultimately feel more concerned about Andrew's bizarre obsession. Yeah, that's a psychopath. It's my opinion. With taking down his ex-wife online. That's super narcissistic. It's called narcissistic rage. It's called controlling the narrative. It's called narcissistic injury, gaslighting, Scientology shore stories. Where to begin? His poor children. His children are probably somewhere cleaning bathrooms with toothbrushes right now. Taking down his ex-wife online, then Elizabeth's potential wrongdoings, especially his disturbing pattern of controlling behavior. While neither party seems fully truthful, they see Andrew's actions as particularly unhinged and worrying. Oh, where have we heard unhinged before? And worrying given his role as the father of Elizabeth's children. Yeah, what's he doing to the children? LAPD, Child Protective Services. And I've heard I tried, maybe you guys are better at it, try to look up his criminal record because he's had numerous restraining orders allegedly put out against him from Elizabeth and other women. But I've heard numerous times it was on record. I was not able to get into the Los Angeles court system. I didn't know how to work it. Maybe you guys are better at it. Public knowledge. Key episode takeaways. 1. The online feud between divorced exes. Got to be careful how you word stuff. Between divorced exes Elizabeth and Andrew involves disturbing allegations of abuse, fraud, lying, and obsessive behavior from both sides, making it difficult to determine the full truth. 2. Elizabeth admits to faking cancer, but denies Andrew's other serious accusations against her, like fraud. Yeah, Scientology is all about fraud. While portraying him as an abusive Scientologist obsessed with destroying her online. Is he trying to ruin her utterly, you guys? Inquiring MF minds want to know, is he trying to ruin her utterly? Andrew. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? 3. Andrew claims he is simply warning others. I mean, please. About Elizabeth's alleged manipulative and criminal behavior. That's Scientology. What you talking about your organization for, Andrew? Andrew. Denying any link to Scientology, an obsession with taking her down online. Notice there's no talk of the children here, but it seems that Elizabeth is really missing her children. So, 4. The situation is made more complex by the couple's children being involved, with both parents vying for authority over the other's parental role. Also, I would like to know where Elizabeth, what is her country of origin? I have a funny feeling she's not an American native. I mean, citizen, that she was born here. 5. While neither party seems completely truthful, yes, says this person, but, give them benefit of the doubt here. Jesse and Lily express more concern over Andrew's bizarre unhinged fixation on ruining Elizabeth's online presence than over her potential wrongdoings. 6. The conflicting narratives and lack of full evidence or context make it impossible to determine which ex is telling the full truth, if either of them is. 7. The episode highlights how the internet can fuel obsessive, vindictive behavior and the difficulty of discerning truth from bias or manipulation when examining online conflicts between individuals. Yeah, but Elizabeth is the one being stalked here, right? Isn't she being stalked? This is a question. Asking a question is legal. 8. The hostility and allegations from both exes are disturbing given the negative impact it could have on their children caught in the middle of the feud. Only thing that I would wish from these people doing this interview is a little more research. I'm going to go down the rabbit hole on this one. Like I said, I tried to look up his criminal record. Allegedly, I've heard many stories that there were numerous restraining orders taken out against Andrew. Does Elizabeth have any restraining orders against her? I don't think so. And even if she did, because a lot of people will do it in retaliation, men are notoriously stronger than women, and his pattern of criminal behavior would tell everything now, wouldn't it? It's a public record. It's on public record. Okay, Top episode quotes. 1, if you go on the website, there's actually Scientologist links that he didn't see there yet. I don't know if anyone is familiar with that, but getting out of a Scientologist mindset in a relationship is not. See, I think she was a Scientologist as well. I don't know. I can't find it. But I remember reading somewhere that she was married as a young teenager, so you guys know. Not a Good Thing and Not an Easy Thing by Elizabeth Tuckenbrock. It's a very German name. This quote introduces Elizabeth's claim that her ex-husband Andrew is a Scientologist, which could explain the allegedly controlling and vengeful behavior towards her. Well, it's Scientology, but it's also narcissism. And I just, like I said, I wished they would have gone and looked. There's plenty of hearsay and talk about him having numerous restraining orders put against him, to include against his ex-wife, which indicates a criminal pattern of behavior. 2, I've had my daughters full-time for the last several years. So as you go through my page, I'm guessing maybe her Facebook page, a lot of it is, pictures or posts of things like that. It's very little me talking into a camera, because when you have 2 kids, one full-time, you don't have a lot of time, by Andrew. And we know Facebook pages tell us everything, right? Please. Andrew, do you believe children are adults in small bodies? I would like to know. Are you treating your children like children in adult bodies? I personally, before I even read this, it's just my opinion, Andrew's putting on a big show. He's being super abusive to his ex-wife. He's been abusive to previous exes. And now he's trying to let the world know what amazing, perfect father of the year he is. And if you don't have a lot of discernment, or you just buy the story people are telling you, you just pass it on like it's truth. Listen to this. I'm going to put my perfect father voice on. 2, I've had my daughters full-time for the last several years. So as you go through my page, I already read this. Okay, this quote from Andrew frames his actions as those of a busy single. Ooh, put the virtue music on. Da da da. Single dad simply warning others about his ex-wife's alleged manipulative behavior, contrasting with Elizabeth's portrayal of him. Trying to get hold of the narrative. 3. Okay, so everything about this irritates me. 3, is the sole financial provider. Is that why you're asking for child support? Because you're providing? And safekeeper? Oh, so if you're a safekeeper, but you still believe children are adults in small bodies, how are you keeping your children safe when you think your children are adults? Are they scrubbing toilets right now? And safekeeper of my ex-wife's children. That's a weird way. You see what I mean, you guys? They always slip up. They always slip up. He called his children his ex-wife's children. That was just a giveaway, you guys. He doesn't look at his children as his own children. Busted. Any actions taken against me will directly impact their well-being, because I believe in children in adult bodies. By Andrew. This chilling quote exemplifies Andrew's controlling language. Okay, thank God they had some sense. In positioning of himself as the sole authority over Elizabeth's role, see? As a mother to their children. Okay, hold on, you guys. Case of Elizabeth's viral cupcake video. The hosts, Jesse and Lily, discuss a viral TikTok video of a woman named Elizabeth crying while making cupcakes on her birthday as a single mom. They introduce the context of Elizabeth's ex-husband, Andrew, responding with claims that Elizabeth is not a full-time mom and has faced legal issues. See, that's typical abusive behavior. They want to annihilate her narrative. Elizabeth's viral cupcake video, portraying her as struggling single mom, sparked a response from her ex-husband Andrew, who accused her of not being a full-time mom and engaging in illegal activities. Says a Scientologist, you know what I mean? Ruin them utterly, remember? L. Ron Hubbard says, ruin them utterly. The host initially sympathized with Elizabeth, but became intrigued by Andrew's claims and the potential involvement of Scientology in his actions against her. Okay, now this is Elizabeth talking. 1. Andrew has created websites, TikToks, essentially everything since I left him. I think that is probably the Scientologist aspect of his life. By Jesse Smiles. Isn't that extremely, extremely similar to when Scientology people were upset with Jessica Palmedessa's TikTok because it was going viral? And then they started to put on these goofy TikToks that were kind of like, trying to paint Jessica Palmedessa in a bad light. Okay, this quote suggests that Andrew's actions of creating websites and TikToks to expose Elizabeth could be related to his alleged involvement with Scientology. Now, this is where I get a little irritated. They should have gone and done some research to look at those websites, right? But at least they're bringing some of this to the forefront. 2, she was then arrested for check fraud. Hey, look, when I was a young woman, I did some real stupid things out of desperation. I did. She was then arrested for check fraud. Mind you, this woman, what I'm thinking is happening, but I don't have any solid evidence yet, is that she left Scientology. If she didn't leave Scientology, I don't know how that would have worked, her being a non-Scientologist and him being a Scientologist. And if the fact that she did marry when she was young, come on, you guys. So now she's pushed out, she's out of Scientology. Let's just guess, because we don't know for sure, that she's out of Scientology. She has no money. She has no job. She has very little, or no, she did have some family support. So I just don't know the whole story yet. But she was desperate and did some dumb stuff. And during that hearing, it turned out that it was found that she stole almost $1 million from another guy. Do we have evidence for this, you guys? He's saying she stole $1 million. You could talk all you want. If it's not true, that's defamation of character. Andrew, do you have receipts? Andrew, because if you don't, that's defamation of character. He's just foaming at the mouth here. See, these Scientologists just think they can just say whatever and there's no repercussions. And also, she faked cancer in the past. I would like to know the whole story there. I wonder if she did that to get money. I'm not sure what was going on. This quote highlights Andrew's claims against Elizabeth. That's where they should have vetted that one out. I'm just saying. Accusing her of fraud, theft, and faking cancer, which adds complexity to the situation. That's where they should have done some research. You can't be like reporting things and just like, and not like going to check to see if that's a reality. Or if it's not a reality, is there something online or somewhere to back up what he's saying? You just can't be spreading that kind of information like that. Chapter 2, delving into the allegations and evidence. The hosts examined the evidence presented by Andrew against Elizabeth, including court documents, then they went and looked, alleged text messages, and claims of her faking cancer and stealing money. Do you guys notice through all of this, there's no talk about the children? Elizabeth responds, denying the accusations and providing her perspective on the custody agreement and Andrew's behavior. See, at least she's sticking to what's important here. Chapter 3, the enigmatic website and Andrew's obsession. That alone should have the police watching him, right? And she's pretty much a bombshell. So why she would be stuck with someone looking like him? Ugh. Sorry, I know I don't usually go there, but I just have to, because I don't like how he's treating this woman. The hosts delve into a website dedicated to exposing Elizabeth, Scientology, allegedly created by Andrew, and showcases his apparent obsession with discrediting her. Who does that sound like, you guys? Obsession with discrediting? Where have we seen that before? They dissect the website's content, questioning its credibility and Andrew's motives behind such a relentless pursuit. Okay, good. Then they did a little checking. That's good. And I'm not perfect by no means, but, like if you're going to start putting all this information out, you should kind of check things first. That's what media, back in the old days did. Chapter 4, unraveling the complexities and nuances. As the hosts delve deeper into the situation, they recognize the complexities and nuances involved. They grapple with the idea that both parties may have engaged in questionable actions while expressing concern over Andrew's controlling and obsessive behavior towards Elizabeth. So I wonder if this must be a few episodes. I'm definitely going to be listening to this. Chapter 5, concluding thoughts and reflections. The hosts share their final thoughts on the situation, expressing concern over Andrew's unhinged behavior. Yes, LAPD, aren't you concerned too? LAPD, wouldn't you be concerned about this man's obsessive behavior over his ex-wife? Isn't that you guys' job, to protect the public? Expressing concern over Andrew's unhinged behavior and the potential impact on his children. Oh, don't worry, children are adults in small bodies. They're not considered children in Scientology. They're probably on course, probably put out ethics right now. I mean, you never know. They could be getting SA'd. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. I surmise 98% of Scientology children are getting SA'd from all the research I've done. It's all public record. They reflect on the broader implications of how narratives can be manipulated on the internet and the importance of critical thinking when consuming online content. Okay. Hold on. Thank you to Jesse and Lily for bringing this to us. And hopefully when I share this on my YouTube, you guys get a lot more listens, because someone needed to do this. And I hope that we can all go deeper and find out Andrew's deep and dark criminal past, because that needs to be reflected. Maybe someone on here listening to my YouTube audio here is better at getting into the Los Angeles court documents. I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. So I'll leave a link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Peace.